Well, good afternoon, folks. We're back for session 11 of the Irish Youth and Senior Summer Nationals 2023 here from the National Aquatic Centre in Blanchardstown. My name is David Thompson, and I'll be going solo from here on out for the rest of the competition. It was great to have such experienced broadcasters. We had Dwayne yesterday and Indy McGlynn throughout the week. So we're bringing you now the middle session. So these are the slightly slower heats of the women's. We're going to start off with the women's 15 and over 100 meter freestyle. And we're going to actually bring you plenty of heats there. We've got 21 heats there of the women's freestyle. And then we're going to go straight into the men's 400 meter freestyle. We just had the 3 heats this morning. So we'll have a fair few heats of the men's 400 meter freestyle. We have 12 heats there in that. And then we're going to finish off just with a single men's 200 meters butterfly. So a slightly shorter session for this middle one, just the 3 events. So looking forward to it. Before we have our final session tonight, starting from 5:30. And we have some good races to look forward to. Most notably for me is going to be the men's 50 meters breaststroke, featuring the return of Barry Murphy, London 2012 Olympian, making a comeback after 9 years out of the water at 38 years of age, and he's our fastest qualifier into that one. 9 years out of the water, you don't lose it. But this is heat number 1 of the women's 100 meter freestyle. And going down on your screen there, just the 4 swimmers: Sheridan, Giles, Foley, and Brady. We have a para athlete in Brady in lane number 6. So, middle of the day right now, 20 past 12. All these swimmers that swim these heats, you know, they had a separate warm-up before this competition. So the morning heats swam, and then as soon as they finished, the warm-up started for this middle session, and all these swimmers ready to race. Just about to get underway. Just waiting for a few technical issues to be sorted, and then we'll be underway with racing. Shouldn't be too long today. Should be done by roughly about 20 past 2 or so. So just the 2 hours of racing. But here we go for heat number 1 of 21 this morning in the women's 100 meter freestyle. 2 lengths of the pool on the fastest stroke of the 4 freestyle. On into the water they go. Entry times here in the middle of the pool, all 110s for Sheridan, Giles, and Foley. And then Brady, the para athlete. She went to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2022, representing Northern Ireland. She is in on a 127.2, so expect to see plenty of best times being posted throughout the middle session, session 11 of 15 of the Irish Summer Nationals. Giles with a slight lead over Foley at a 32.67, comfortable enough. So that looks to be set up very nicely to break that 110 barrier, if you will. So a barrier for 100 free in girls swimming as well is sub 60. So all these girls down the line will want to be looking to break sub 60. They're all still very young, 15, 17. Sheridan's slightly older at 19. So here we go into the wall. It looks like in the middle it is Giles from Coolmine, maybe going to take a touch. And she finishes in a 1:10.91, slightly slower than her entry time. So 1:10.91 for Giles, 41.11.4, Sheridan 1:11.4, and Brady coming into the wall now. She was a 1:27.2 in her entry time, and she was a 1:27.9, so slightly outside her best. All the swimmers slightly outside their best times there, but that is the first heat in the books. And there's a rundown of Heat 2, Collins, Curry, Donahue, Sproul, McQuillan, Harmon, Murray, Latimer, Ego, and Mullen. For Heat number 2, this, the women's 100 freestyle. .109s in the middle of the pool for Sproul, McQuillan, and Harmon. The rest all on 110, so they're all pretty bunched up. We have a DNS in lane number 7. That's Grace Latimer, opting not to race this one. So expect this to be very close. Expect most of these heats to be very close, folks. They're not seeded. They're just all very tight. So at the minute, it's extremely hard to call. Maybe Sproul in lane number 3, but it's near impossible to call. Yeah, Sproul slightly from Harmon, from McQuillan, all 32 mids, really. So coming off the wall, the leg kick of Sproul now looking to slightly extend her advantage. And 2 lanes below her in lane number 1, it is Sophie Curry also having a real go at this. But the Lisburn swimmer, I think it is, in the middle of the pool, McQuillan, going really strong and taking this race almost by the scruff of the neck. McQuillan, she's a 109.76 in her entry time. She's powering towards the wall. She's going to be well under that. Good PB for McQuillan, 107.96. From McQuillan. Sophie Curry out in lane 1. The Shark swimmer had a fantastic back 50 as well. I spotted her about 25 out. So McQuillan from Curry from Murray, 107, 108, 109. So they'll fly through these heats this afternoon, excuse me. Heat number 3, Goggin, Pierce, Murr, Ramsey, McDowell, Connolly, Adams, Melankova, Redmond, Hearn, and Funge. That's our heat number 3. And we're into the pool. Another DNS there in lane number 4 from McDowell, Connolly, as well as lane number 2, Aaron Moore. So 2 DNSs. Expect to see that now on day 4. You know, you're going to get more swimmers scratching as they focus on other races and things like that, because fatigue will come into play. Roisin Pierce is setting the early pace at a 30.97 on that first 50. Exactly 1 second clear of Ramsey, who's in lane number 3. You see the sun peering through the transparent part of the roof here. I'll tell you what, folks, the heat in here is very warm, so all these swimmers are doing a great job to stay cool and keep racing fast. Pierce, absolutely no problems. She's still going really well, although 4 and 5, McDowell, 4 and 3, excuse me, McDowell and Ramsey looking good, but it is Pierce hanging on for a 107.43. McDowell, Connolly and a 108.1, and Ramsey and a 108.41 from Coolmine. So we're dropping into the 7s now, so expect as we go through the heats just to drop in time. And heat number 4, Warren, Lyons, Morrissey, Doherty, Price, Zimmerman, Hans, and Ibarras is our top. We've got a few more DNSs. 7 is out. And 2 is out. So, bit of a littered field. 3 separate groups. 2 in the outside, then a empty lane. 4 in the middle, empty lane, 2 in the outside. quite symmetrical. Early doors, it's, I think, the ESB swimmer, it's Morrissey with an early advantage. 100-meter freestyle does help to have that early, easy speed. Getting out fast, not really trying to take any prisoners. Morrissey on a 31.9, yeah, comfortably clear. And trying to put the hammer down, and the rest of the field will attempt to close. 100-meter freestyle, not a lot of tactic to it, really. It's the event, my main event when I swam, so I have good experience in racing great athletes, different tactics of how different athletes swim it. I was more of a front-end swimmer, so I had to go out and use my speed and try and hang on. A little bit like our leader here, the ESB swimmer touches 107.22 for Faye Morrissey. Ibarra's from out, all the way out in lane 9 had a great back half for a 108.2, and Zimmerman in the middle of the pool also hung on for a 108.46. Heat number 5 now. Reed, Mateus, Grills, Myers, Noble, Boyle, Higgins, O'Hanlon, Dooley, and Bukowska of Sunday's Well in 9. Full field here, first time this afternoon for this session. We've got a full field with no DNS straight away. Ellen Dooley in lane number 8 has more of a straight arm stroke. She's got a high octane sort of looking freestyle all the way down the pool. Kind of hard to call who's in the lead when, you know, from this kind of camera angle, because you want to be right down on poolside. It's hard to call, but I think it is Dooley. Yeah, she's not going to look back. She's a second clear of the field at the moment. 30.98, you can see her advantage there. Very, very clear and very dominant performance. I'm just going to check my notes here and see what she's entered on. She's entered on a 109.00, and she's put herself in a phenomenal position to drop that. So she's going really, really quick. Now, I opted for a breathing. Every 3 strokes is the 17-year-old. And she's going to have a massive PB the whole way into the wall. 105.10, so that's a huge drop from the last heat. I think we had 7s was our fastest from the last heat. Dooley drops that by a significant margin to a 105.1. 107s make up the places. Heat number 6. From 0 through 9, Martin, Flannery, Williamson, Taff, O'Brien, Robinson, McKenna, McNamara, Coughlin, and Cullen. Absentee in 7, it appears. I think absentee in 7, that is Clodagh McNamara of Kingdom Swim Club, opted out of the 100 free. Don't know why you would. 100 free is the best event, Clodagh. Okay, here we go. Middle of your pool. Lane number 3. It's Taff. And she's got a very sort of aggressive looking stroke. She was first sort of at the 25 meters, but one of the middle swimmers, Erin Robinson, making a strong move too. Taff just from Flannery out in 1, who I didn't spot. Maybe some of you at home spotted that. Flannery on the outside, taking this one to the middle. Look at that right arm coming over, very straight. Swims, a lot of senior international freestyle sprinters will swim like that. Although it's very difficult to keep your body nice and flat when you swim like that, because your hips will want to go side to side as your arms come around, side to side. So you have to have a strong core to efficiently swim like that. It's all going to be about the touch, folks, and it is Robinson. 106.42, Flannery in 1, had a stormer, and Taff couldn't really hang on. She's a 107.0. Heat number 7, Haven, McBride, Coffey, McCaughrean, Laughlin, McDade, Teague, Glennon, Barry, and Harrington. in heat number 7 of 21. So we're moving through these heats. This is almost a third of the way through this afternoon. You can see the sun beaming through, always good to see. Not the best weather in July here in Ireland, but good to have some sun out. Very, very tight first 25. You literally can't call that one at all. During the first 100 meters, I don't know if you caught the women's 100 meters freestyle at the FINA World Championships in Fukuoka. Molly O'Callaghan won that. She doubled up the 100, 200 winner. There's not many people at the World Championships have managed to do that, double up and win the 100 meters front crawl and the 200 meters front crawl. Popovici has done it on the men's side, and now O'Callaghan has done it. And I'll pull up in a minute what time she went, but at the minute, in the middle of the pool, it looks like the Bangor swimmer, Becca Laffin, looking quite strong. But then top of the pool, wee bit of a battle going on between Barry and Glennon. Cork battle between Cork Dolphins and Sunday's Well. Who's going to take a touch? Glennon gets a touch for Sunday's Well. Coach Cassidy will be happy he takes that one. Big celebration there over Coach McCormick. Two of the best clubs in Ireland, really. They're both down in Cork. But Sunday's Well takes that one. I know Coach Cassidy will have a smile on his face, getting one over on his counterpart in Cork. Heat number 8, O'Connor, Graham, McCusker, Richmond, McCallum, Gosson, Hartford, Ferris, Hill and Quigley are your 10 swimmers, and I think we got a full pool. We do indeed. So heat number 8 underway, 108 zeros in the middle. All these swimmers very, very tight. You know, if you're 0.4 slower, you're about 3 heats back. So, you know, very, very tight, all bunched up. This is sort of the level of this kind of age group in the country at the minute. Very hard to call. Ferris in 7, 31.61. Gosson chasing hard, and Graham out all the way out in lane 1 as well, and a 31.93. The only 3 swimmers sub 32 on that first 50. All the way out in lane 9 as well, having a little bit of a stormer. That's Quigley. She's really up the rate now. I think she's going to take the first here. Quigley entered on a 108.26. She's going to be miles under that. And she's going to take the gold all the way out in lane 9, 105.88. Shauna Ferris in a 106.67. And Darren Gosson in a 107.02. So moving on now, heat number 9. Okay, from top to bottom, we have McCarthy, O'Connor, Kazanchi, Hoare, O'Leary, Keogh, McGrath, Hannon, Lennox, and Newsom. Full field here. Oh no, excuse me, not a full field. There is no McCarthy from Sunday's Well and 0. A full field, nonetheless, for the rest. So coming down the pool now, very hard to call. Literally put one on it. O'Leary, 0.2 from Kazanchi, from Keogh. So this heat number 9, almost halfway in the women's 100-meter freestyle in these morning heats. Middle of your pool, lane number 4, Alison O'Leary, sort of starting to put the hammer down with real intent. But Keogh not letting her have it all her own way. And here we go, into the wall. It is O'Leary, 105.3. Keogh, 105 as well. O'Connor out in lane 1 had a good swim too, back on a 34 point then. Pointing out the 4th position swimmer there, Hannon, or Heenan, it's probably pronounced, was back in a 33.0. which is very, very fast for the back end. So maybe she can attack that first 50 a little bit more. Okay, Cullen, O'Boyne, Moore, Dunn, Dupleix, McCarthy, start away Nagy, Joyce, and McCormack of Dolphin. Two non-swimmers, and 2 and 3. Top of your picture straight away. Folks, you'll be able to see it. Eyeball at home, who's winning, not be hard to call. It started away Nagy. Looking very, very strong from New Ross. We hear that name pop up a lot at these championships. She's got touch first. 30.99. Now we're getting out in the 30 points. We're getting a bit more speed in this heat number 10. So that's good to see. All these swimmers entered in a 107. So there's going to be drops here. Big drops here just above on her shoulder. Start away Nagy. Can see Joyce. That's Amelia Joyce of Sharks hunting her down. Ironically, pardon the pun, like a shark. And here we go. Start away Nagy all the way into the wall. 103.87. Big drop now. Joyce gave it a good go for a 104.22. And then well back was McCarthy, the Portmarnock swimmer just down the road at a 106.5. McFadden, Harrington, Byrne, Meehan, Beattie, Cosgrove, Hickey, O'Keefe, and Van Wygen in 9. And here we go, a little bit of an up in tempo here. That's obvious to see. And all these swimmers now are getting into the realm of swimmers, maybe not just yet, maybe by heat 15 or 16, where those swimmers they want to push by next year to be in that morning session as opposed to this middle session. Juliet Byrne is out first in a 30.54. All the way from Harrington in 2 and a 31.8. So great shot here. You can see the officials walking up and down, and our own pool commentator Andy Bree, a fantastic commentator. You want to hear his enthusiasm on deck. Really brings up the energy in this complex, but it is the early leader. He's going to take it, I think. No, it's not. It's the Limerick swimmer. Yes. Meehan took it in a 105.8. And then I think interesting, yeah, O'Keefe for some reason out in lane number 8 got the second position. Hard to call. No lane number 1 here in this next one. So we have O'Neill, Grant, Ruddy, Simpson, Mitchell, Wilson, Colfer, Burke, and Dillon. That's on your screen there. Our competitors, heat number 12 of 21 this morning. And into the water they go. Day number 4 here at this competition. So we're looking at a bit of fatigue potentially setting in. All these swimmers maybe beginning to struggle if they haven't looked after their nutrition or their sleep or their hydration or their swim downs. All very important when it comes into a long meet like this. Ruddy, 30.44. Comfortable lead for her. But there's so much more goes on than just swimming up and down this pool with what we see here on the stream. We see the action, but we don't see all these swimmers the time they would arrive at the pool maybe 2 hours to 2.5 hours before the competition, which means they're up 4 hours almost before their race. You know, eating breakfast, eating the right foods, and then staying here for about an hour and a half afterwards. Top of your picture, we got an outside smoke. Alison Dillon, 104.99. That's a lovely swim for her. All the way out in lane 9. So that's what you will get in these middle heats here in session 11. You will get some swimmers from the outside taking the victories as well. Call for in second in a 105.6. Heat 13, straight through. Scanlon, Roch, Sweeney Frail, Hegarty, Genoshi, Murr, Graham, Tarankanova, Lulig, Martin. Yeah, another full heat here is heat 13 of 21. So heat 13, we've got 106s all in the middles here, so we'll begin to get dropping. We've had a 103 so far, that's been the fastest. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get down even further than that. Pull up on lane number 7. It's Tarankanova of the NAC, our local pool. Excuse me, sorry. Sweeney Frail in lane number 2 in a 30.7. Going very, very well. Breathe, opting to breathe every... Let's look at the breathing pattern here. She's breathing every 3 and then every 2 and then 3. Yeah, so she's up for a 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 breathing pattern to see what she can breathe to both sides. The rest of the field really coming back at her now. Lane number 6, Rebecca Graham, looking very strong in these closing stages. All the way in, it is going to be Graham, 105, 106. 106 for 1-0. Murr, 106.5. And Tarankanova, 106.7. Okay, on to heat 14. Minford, Ryan, Creaney, Scott, Blake, Brennan, Hayes, O'Dwyer, Lyons, and Manelli. On to heat 14. So the start. Let's talk about the start for a wee minute. The start in the 100 meter freestyle is very, very important. Because it's only 2 lengths, it is considered a sprint event. Or if you ever hear anybody talk about a sprint event, that's always the 50 or the 100. And in the strokes, you'll never hear anybody talk about a sprint event referring to a 200. So whenever you talk about, if somebody says, oh, I'm a sprinter, or I can't sprint, they'll be talking about the 50s and the 100s. So the start on that, as we look at the pool here quickly, Blake leading in a 30.3. The start, excuse me, very important, because you've only got 2 lengths. You know, if you have a poor start, you're way behind your competitors. You're leaving yourself a hell of a lot to do coming down that first 50. So if you can have a really, really good start, an explosive start, get out ahead of your competitors, it means you can try less on that first 50, but almost maybe touch it at the same time or faster. It is going to be Blake, the same very low stroke rate, almost looked like she was swimming at 200 there. But there's a 63.64 for the new first position of the afternoon heats. O'Dwyer and Creaney back in the 104s for second and third. Heat 15, Curry, Stewart, Tarankanova, O'Toole, Walsh, Dorr, O'Connor, Redden, Lynch and Mahon. You just see a swimmer to the left of your picture there in lane number 0 who had just finished. Head in her hands, the 100 free hearts, folks. It really does. You pick up a lot of lactate very, very early and you've got to try and just ignore that pain and kick through it and swim through it. Grit your teeth. Bottom of your picture, though, it's Olivia Curry of Sharks, I think, with the storming first 50. She had a fantastic start, it did Curry. And she's out in a 30.00. You don't see that too often. Right, in a 30.00. Exactly her best being a 106.32. So she's put herself in a really good position to go about a 63, maybe a 63 low. She's actually pulling away from the field. Don't be surprised here if she goes 62. She's absolutely flying. Out in a 30. She should be able to come back on a 32 something to go at 62, maybe 61. I don't know. Yeah, 62.3. That's a big swim. Big drop from Curry. O'Connor. Katie O'Connor in second. And Alison Mahan in third. That's heat number 16. Or 15 that was, so we're moving on to 16 now. McLennan, Warchall, Marshall, Gillis, Hall, Walsh, Keogh, Darling O'Mahony, Ryhill and McDade. We've only got 5 heats left this morning of this. The women's 100 meter freestyle. Okay, here we go. Middle of the pool, another one of them. Straight arm strokes. It's a similar stroke that I kind of adopted when I swam this event. Got to be very powerful to be able to hold that kind of stroke rate. It's very hard in the shoulders. You know, there's so much pressure as your arm comes over on the fronts of your shoulders. You got to be very strong to be able to do it efficiently. Walsh is our leader with that straight arm stroke in a 31-0. Marshall 31-1, Haw 31-3. Marshall, clearly a back half specialist and back half swimmer. The Trojan swimmer coming back like a freight train the whole way back. Missiling down that final 10 to 15 meters. And she's got a touch at 2-3, 103.31 for Marshall. Still a best time. Best time's dropping like flies here today. So that's really good going there. There's confirmation now. Quick confirmation, and we're straight on to the next. This is fast and furious stuff. Robson, Lydon, McKenna, Samir, Crawford, Whelan, McMaster, Lynch, Greenslade, and Passia of Lisburn. McMaster in 3, known more for a breaststroke. Sorry, no, not in 3, in 6, excuse me. McMaster in 6, more known for her breaststroke. And all the way down here it is. Samir of Bangor looking quite strong in that white hat and the flashy orange suit. I like that, wherever she got that. And all the way out though in lane number 1, actually it is. Very close to call though. It's Lydon from Lynch, actually up in lane number 7. Very tight to call coming into the turn here. And some of these swimmers may slow down a bit too much coming into the wall. Lydon looks very strong. She looks like a very tall athlete too. So she'll have more of a wingspan. It's very hard to call. Top of your picture maybe. All the way out in lane number 7, Amy Lynch of Sunday's Well. Potentially coming in here fast. She has to pick up that stroke rate a wee bit if she wants to touch. I don't think she's going to get it. No. Bottom of your pool. Robson out in 0. 104.48. Slightly slower heat, that one. Yeah, no 103s even. Never mind a 102. So here we go. Heat 18. Brown, Fryle, Flanagan, Stewart, McCormack, Killeen, Coleman, Farrington Knight, and Jess. Sophie Jess in 9 out of Bangor. And we're away. Absentee in 7. Absentee in 7, that is. Oh, there was it. There's no name, so. Here we go, very tight again in this 100-meter freestyle. A great race to watch, like I said. Molly O'Callaghan took the gold there in the World Championships in Fukuoka just last night, I think it was. Zoe Brown all the way out in lane 0, bottom of your screen, 30.47. Flanagan, 30.6. Yeah, O'Callaghan won that one. 52.16, 52.16. That is scary quick. That wouldn't look out of place in our men's final. Very, very fast that, 52.16. But back to the action here in heat number 18. Camera pans around there. Oh, I'm not even going to try and call this one, folks. Maybe in the middle. Yeah, Kiva Killeen, 104.67 from Sophie Jess, and 104.74. And Maddie Shirt, look how close that was. From first to fourth, under 0.2 of a second. That is very, very close racing going on there. Okay, just 3 heats left of this. We have from 1 down, Bailey, McKeon, King, Cash, Corkery, Glennon, Lee, Lynott, and O'Neill. Good mix of clubs here. Lisburn have had a fantastic meet. They've got the fastest swimmer in this one in heat number 19. That is Fiona Cash, 25-year-old. You have to commend the coaches and parents and the officials at this competition as well. Long days here, but the coaches put in some great effort and great dedication to be here all day. And so do the parents, taking their kids down, paying for hotels to progress their children's swimming career. It's fantastic to see. And I suppose the commentators work a little bit hard as well. But Billy, 29.70. Glennon, only number 0 there. O'Neill, that came up. Bit of a problem with the graphics there. But coming down here, nice sort of high-ish elbow. Just getting the arms over comfortably. And the winner's going to come from the bottom of your screen, it looks like. In lane number 0, I'm pretty sure that's O'Neill. It's not coming up. Oh no, O'Connell, excuse me, I think it is. The name's not coming up. Don't know what happened there. But it was somewhere in lane number 0. So if the family's watching, don't worry, she got the win. Oh. Okay, penultimate heat, women's 100-meter freestyle. Wilson, Parle, Pereguda, Nolan, McCardle, Svobdova, Tesliuk, McGrath, O'Connell, and Sheehy of Asgard. And we're off quite a high dive there. Who was that? Lane number 0, Holly Wilson. Jumped right up. Holly, you want to try and dive out a little bit more as opposed to diving all the way up. You want to try and shift all your momentum forwards as opposed to up. The top of your picture, your second swimmer from the top, it looks like. Sarah, Izzy McGrath, excuse me, looks like your early leader. And it is Izzy McGrath, 29.79. We've got a swimmer sub 30 in this one on the first 50. And she's pulling away fantastically from the field. Absolutely miles clear of the rest of the field. Rest of the field trying to make up numbers and get good times. All these girls, it'll be the last time they'll swim this event before, long course anyway, until probably January or February of next year. McGrath, 101.93, that's a big best time for her, and the fastest time of the morning heats. Sorry, I always say morning. Afternoon heats. So 101.93. A couple of 103s in Parle and Sheehy. Final heat. Mulvey, Mathia, Likakova, Markey, Nita, Godden, Scott, Quinn, Russell, and Shauna Murphy in 9. So that's the last blue ribbon dash. Clean entry away first time. So first time we've had a 103 entry time, that is. Nita right in the middle there. Struggling a wee bit with the pace at this moment in time, but race obviously not over yet. Lane number 2, it's Likakova of the Czech Republic. I think maybe just above her in lane 3 as well, having a right go. Yeah, 29.8 for Likakova. Looks like a tall girl. Nice long stroke, holding her hands out in front making sure she grabs all that water and pulls it right the way through. And she's just extending her lead here the whole way. That's fantastic. Lovely shot there of the low head position, breathing every 4, it looks like. That's what I used to do, breathe every 4 the whole way. Top of your picture, Lane 8 though. Likakova just got it. 102.58. Amy Russell made a storm for the finish there. The ballerina swimmer in a 102.71. New event now. Only 3 events to bring you this morning, although there's a fair few heats in this one. This is the men's 400-meter freestyle. We're going to bring you, I think, 12 heats of this. 12 heats of men's 400 free. So expect to see some tactical racing going on here. Okay, into the water we go. We have in lane number 3, Rory Lambert. In lane number 4, Owen O'Reilly of Aer Lingus. In lane number 5, Leon Nugent of Asgard. Lane number 6, the Longford swimmer, Kyle Smith. Very tight coming down this first 50 meters. That's very close to call, 32s all the way, only 0.4 separating them. And the 400 free now, spoke about it earlier on this morning. Just the 3 heats this morning, so that's why we're bringing you the remainder of these 15 heats in this middle session. So 400 free, a very tricky kind of event, somewhat akin to the 1500 meters in athletics. Similar kind of length of time. It's sort of that funny one, that funny distance that's not quite distance, and it's not quite sprint, it's not quite middle distance. So you've got to kind of have all aspects of your game on point here with regards to freestyle. You have to have extremely good endurance, an extremely good leg kick, a technically proficient stroke, as well as a really, really good turn of speed for that, especially for that last sort of 100 meters. You need that turn of speed. So it is O'Reilly. I'm apologies to you if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but if you ever want to find me and tell me how to pronounce it, I would love that. The Aer Lingus swimmer. But he's got the gap now. There was no gap pretty much at 150, then at 150, an even bigger gap. And now at 200, there's going to be a clear gap between our two. The Aer Lingus swimmer in lane number 4 and Kyle Smith of Longford taking the lead here. No, oh, he should have. How did that happen? Looked like Smith went ahead there. Not too sure what happened there, but it is. At the minute, Orag Halle looking to pound the pressure here on this, the third 100 meters. Owen in the middle is a 5:11.0 man. That's his best. Coming through. It's the battles between these two for this, the first heat. 400 free. Tough enough to have this, the 400 freestyle, on day number 4. You know, there's been a lot of racing going on already for these swimmers, so to have this kind of more distance event, or distance-orientated event, excuse me, on day 4 is very tough going for them. So do not underestimate that either. So the scoreboard's not working because it's clear that Cal Smith is ahead of Orag Hallier. So, yeah, extending his lead now comfortably. And coming down here, and right below Orag Hallier is Lambert, Rory Lambert of Wexford. He wants a bit of the action. He can smell blood. That's going to be an interesting last 50 for this heat. Nugent struggling to keep the pace of this one, but at the minute it is Cal Smith roaring away with it. Quite a comfortable race for him. Smith was a 5:15. I'd love to see him get under 5 minutes. I don't think he's going to quite do it, but a 5:15, he's definitely going to be sub 5:10, and very close to that sub 5 minutes. The next time he swims that next year, he'll be well under 5:02.89. Second position, Orag Hallier. Apologies again if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And then number 3, Rory Lambert, in 5:05.54, and Nugent in a 5:17.14. That's heat 1 of 12 for this morning. Okay, heat number 2, almost a full field here. No Killian Carney in lane number 9, but going through the field we have in lane number 0, Sean O'Rourke, Michal Bergen in lane number 1, Robert Trinachet in lane number 2. In 3 is John Coleman, in 4 Conal Gillard. Philip Daly's beside him, Dylan Burke is in 6. Justin O'Halloran is in lane number 7, and Matthew Turner of the NAC is in lane number 8. So very close at the minute. And excuse my voice, folks, I know it's croaky. Been on the commentary. It's the 4th day of it, so hopefully you can still understand me. I'm sure you can. Apart from the odd time my voice goes a bit high, but we'll not mention that. Lane number 8 at the minute, Matthew Turner, the local man, with a comfortable early lead, opting to go for it here early doors. He's got a best time of 5:06. So now all these swimmers now, folks, they'll be looking to get under the 5-minute barrier. This has been their goal. Swimming's all about these wee small barriers. You can name me any event, and there's a barrier associated with that event, whether you're male or female. You know, so the 100-meter freestyle for men, it's 60 seconds. 100-meter, you know, at an age group level anyway. The 200-meter freestyle would be maybe sub 2 minutes. The 400-meter freestyle maybe be sub 5 minutes or sub 4:30. There's certain barriers, and when you get to a more elite level for men anyway, breaking 50 in the 100-meter freestyle, massive barrier. Breaking 150 on the 200, massive barrier. Breaking 4 minutes on the 400, massive barrier. So swimming's a funny sport that sometimes you get bogged down on the number side of it, you know, because we are so dictated by the numbers and by, you know, what time we go. You know, naturally, it's what makes the sport great too. There's no grey area. You know, there's no football manager telling you, oh, well, I didn't think you played well when you thought you did, and I'm not going to pick you for the next game. You know, there's none of that grey area. It's this is the time you went. you're not good enough to make this team, or you are good enough to make this team. There's no real grey area, which also makes it good because there isn't that grey area, but also makes it quite difficult because these swimmers put a lot of pressure on themselves, very time oriented. They want to qualify for national squads or regional squads, or even at the higher level, the World Championships or Olympic Games. So yeah, they all have personal battles, but a lot of the time when these swimmers eventually break these barriers, you know, it might take them a while. When they eventually do it, they'll go way under it. Like I remember when I was a kid swimming many years ago, I wanted to break 60 in the 100-meter freestyle. Short course, just not this the long course edition, but short course. And couldn't do it. I was 60.1, 60.4, 60.8, 60, you know, constantly. And then I remember I kind of just forgot about it and went, well, I guess I'm never breaking 60. That's where my career's going to go. And then I went 57. I went almost 2.5 seconds under it. So you always have it in you. It's just about detaching that mental side of it and almost taking the pressure off. But back to the pool here, Matthew Turner. From the start, he was ahead, and he is still ahead at the 300. A little bit of a battle going on just below him, though, between O'Halloran, Burke, and Daly. So they're all going to be looking for sub 5 minutes here. And Matthew Turner, yeah, 37.94. Not actually repping really any faster than O'Halloran or Daly, but he's just built up such an insurmountable lead. The rest are not going to catch him. And a nice pickup in stroke rate as well there from O'Halloran all the way down. Not O'Halloran, sorry, Matthew Turner. In the NAC, the local man is going to get this well under 5 minutes, under 4:50, 4:48.09. Turner, Daly, 4:50. All these boys going sub 5 minutes. Have a load of it. Fantastic barriers for them. The other boys falling back, but their time will come. Good swimming, lads. There's confirmation of your results. No disqualifications. Okay, folks, before we go through the field, a bit of an update from the World Championships. Sarah Sostrom has just broken the women's world record in the 50-meter freestyle. It was her own record of a 23.67. She's gone a 23.61. 23.61. That is scary quick for the women's. So she's, I think she's won that event at the World Championships 5 times. So that's scary. That would have got a medal for us here for the boys. So just shows you world swimming's in a crazy, crazy fast pace right now. But I will be bringing you updates. We have McSharry coming up as well soon. Well, she's already been, actually, I think. Let me just update you on what McSharry did. McSharry, folks, came 11th in her semi-final. She was a 30.54, just outside 8th position, and a 30.33 to make it back. But she's had a fantastic competition. She has. I expect her to challenge for a medal next year in Paris at the Olympic Games. But quickly through the field, we have Robert Nixon leading the way here in heat number 3. But through the field quickly, it is Kavanagh 0, Walchak 1, Mahan 2, Gavigan 3, Foley is in 4, McAlorum is in 5, Paul McGarvey is in 6, Whitley 7, Leahy 8, and Robert Nixon, our leader, is in 9. So there we go. A very split kind of field. All these guys now already have posted sub 5 minute personal best time. So, judging by the last race where we saw somewhat of a, what was it? It was Matthew Turner dropped almost 20 seconds in his race. So expect there to be a big drop here as well as we come up to this, the 200 meter mark, the halfway part of the 400 meter freestyle. $2:13.0 Nixon. Quite comfortably out in his zone there. He's breathing every 3 strokes. He's breathing every 3 strokes. So you don't usually see it too often in senior swimmers. At a junior end, coaches will encourage junior swimmers to breathe every 3 strokes because it sort of encourages balance to the stroke. So if you're breathing to both sides, you're far more likely to extend the same amount with your right arm as your left arm. Whereas if you're only breathing to one side, you may become a bit lopsided, a bit one-sided. But as you get more experienced as an older swimmer and your stroke is a little bit more established, you can then begin to experiment with that, breathing every 2 strokes that you'll see the likes of all the more senior athletes do, because you need that oxygen. And once you're able to breathe every 2, you get more oxygen, you get more rhythm to your stroke, and that you'll see next to nobody in the top level in a 400 free breathing every 3 strokes. I can't think of anybody. Maybe Stephen Milne. He was a GB swimmer. Just went to Rio Olympic Games, and I think he might have gone to Tokyo, but I'm unsure. But a good distance swimmer. But he breathed every 3. Scottish swimmer. Don't see it too often though, but Below swimmer Nixon with a sizable advantage. From the middle of the pool, Tiernan Foley in lane number 4. And Max Whitley in lane number 7 as well. But the leader is way clear. Way clear here is Nixon. Now, all about time for him. Nixon, 5:01 is his best, actually, so he hasn't been under 5 minutes yet. I'll tell you what, not for very long, because he's coming the whole way in. Once you see that boom at the bottom of the pool, you know you're almost there. And he's kicking his legs for home. He's going to be sub 4:40, folks, so very good swim. What a PB. 4:35. Good job, Coach Sweeney at Below. For 4:35. Whitley, 4:42. And Tiernan Foley in a 4:42 also. Okay, that's heat 3 in the books. Coming up on heat 4. Excuse me, heat 4 now. My voice keeps going. Hope you're laughing at home. Okay, here we go. Heat number 4. We don't have a swimmer in lane number 9, so I'll go through the heats. Or the swimmer, sorry. We have Mallet 0, Murphy 1, Hooker 2, Marcus Trazen 3 of Kilkenny. 4 is Adam Whitaker of ESB. Jack Doyle's beside him. The 17-year-old Killian Ginty is in 6. Farnwell Bevan is in lane number 7, and Lucas Price is in 8, the Lisburn swimmer. So we had a 4:30 something, I can't remember, 4:33 maybe, in the last heat. So expect to see this time drop again. That was a great swim from lane 9 there from Nixon. That was a massive PB for him. You love to see that kind of thing. So our leader is Killian Ginty And a 104 at 94. 34.5 for him on that. The second of 8 50s. And this is the men's 400 meter freestyle. So the 400 free, quite a tough event. You know, you'll see a lot of junior freestylers swimming it. That's why we have so many heats here. Coaches like to put junior athletes, age group athletes into this event because it will build a bit of resilience. It'll build, as we have Aidan Mallet there taking the lead, it'll build a bit of resilience. It encourages a lot of things, like I spoke a few heats ago. It encourages endurance, a little bit of turn of speed. You need to have a good leg kick, and also mental resilience. It's a tough race to swim. You know, the lactate builds up very quick, you know, and you feel like you have a long way to go. When you get to about 200, you know, in the likes of an 800 or 1500, you're prepared for the long haul. You know when you dive in at 100 meters, you know you're nowhere near done. So you sort of live in the pain and you live in the moment of that. But on a 400, it's shorter, so you know it's a tough one to get right. It really, really is. But it's definitely a considerable lead here in the Lisburn summer now. Is it Lisburn? It is. Aidan Mallet, Lisburn. Don't recognize that hat. I'm trying to read what it says on the hat. Might say 50 years or something, does it? Maybe celebrating 50 years or something of the club being around. I'm trying to read it here. Nah, no chance. Oh, maybe. It's... I think it says 50, folks. I'll not spend too long dwelling on it. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? 50. So must be celebrating 50 years. And Mallet certainly is storming down this 50 comfortably. Ahead of, in the middle, looks like Marcus Trait of Kilkenny. Wanting a bit of the action. By Aidan Mallet with a 37 flat. From Marcus Trait, 37.5. And Doyle in a 36.8. Beginning to push the marker a little bit. Okay, coming into this, the last turn here of heat number 4. 4.48 for him. Very close to the wall there. Marcus Trait in the turn. You don't really get that close to the wall, buddy. Give yourself too much of a push off. Bottom of your picture now. Lisburn having a great meet here. Coach Shepherd and Coach Strange really pushing their swimmers on during this meet for sure. Winners of that 4x200 meter freestyle relay yesterday. And it is going to be Mallet laying the Mallet down for 4:41.52. Good best time for him. Trait gets the second position, and Ginty just about holds off Doyle for 4:46 by 2/100ths of a second. That's heat 4 in the books. Heat number 5, so just over a third of the way through. Looks like we don't have a full field. There's no swimmer in lane number 8. That is Hayden. Hayden James opted not to swim this one. So Hugo Winston goes in 0. Evan McKeown 1. Daniel Radigan 2. Lane 3 is Cian Harvey. Lane 4 is Alex Lee. Lane 5, the Bangor swimmer Aaron Hare. Patriskis is in 6, Rice 7, and 9 is Matthew Gracie. So 29 flat here for Harvey. He's got a nice stroke. Not to sound surprised, but he looks very nice. That breath's a wee bit disruptive slightly, but he's got a lovely long stroke. When you breathe on freestyle, you want to make the breath as seamless as humanly possible. You want to almost make it seem like you're not even breathing. Like if somebody looked at you, they would be struggle to know when you're breathing and when you're not breathing. That's the idea. You know, you got to make it as low profile and as hidden as possible, because you have to keep your head as still as possible. If you minimize your head movement, you'll minimize your body position moving. You'll minimize your hips going side to side or up and down, and you'll stay flatter and you'll go faster. You know, that's why, you know, humans having to breathe really sets us apart from the rest of the animal kingdom. You know, the likes of other mammals like dolphins can hold their breath forever and just come up for a breath, whereas humans, we have to breathe, and it really disrupts the stroke. So if we've got a big, big breath, swinging the head around massively, that's going to really affect how our body position and ultimately our speed. So I'll always compare when I coach athletes back to how the likes of fish swim, because it sounds like some of you probably laughing at home, but it is. You can learn a lot if you just look at how animals move in the water. You know, that's what we're trying to imitate. That's why it's called dolphin kick. We're trying to imitate a dolphin. But here we go, Harvey, comfortably ahead. I like his stroke a lot. Nice and long, through the water. Small little leg kick, giving him balance. The Mallow swimmer, yeah, so good work. He's entered in a time of, if I can find it, my notes, Harvey, 4:49.22. He'll be miles under that. 4:49. He'll be miles under that. Clear the field now. Lee currently in second position. Nice and long stroke, but I remember back in the day swimming these 400-meter freestyles at this competition, and as I got older, I slowly went down in distance. Slowly every year I went from 1500, dropped that, 400, dropped that, 200, eventually dropped that, and then by the end I wanted to drop the 100 too. Swimming gets tough as you get older, but all these young swimmers will be swimming a lot of different events. You know, they shouldn't be specializing really at the ages of 15, 16. It was only when I got to university where the coaches said to me, no, you're a sprinter, that's what we're going to train you for. You know, so before that I was doing all sorts of different events, and it's important to do that because your strokes can develop at different times as well. 3:38.64 for Stephen Harvey of Mallow. He's cleared the field by an absolute mile, 10 seconds pretty much, and he's going to come back. I'd like to see him pick us up slightly more up the rate, but he is a big guy. He's got a long wingspan, so tough to get the rate up, and he is giving it a go. Good to see Harvey's having a stormer. Good on him. All the hard work he's put in over the past 12 months has most definitely paid off here. He's going to miss that sub 4:30, but he's 4:31.74 for Stephen Harvey, and a massive, massive personal best time for him. Big smile on his face, over the moon. Pierce Rice, 4:42, and McKeon in 4:43. Heat number 6 now, almost halfway through these, the 400-meter freestyle heats. Before we go through the swimmers in this heat number 6. Update on the Irish contingent from Fukuoka. Conor Ferguson in the men's 50-meter backstroke semi-final. He didn't do enough to get back. He came 13th, slightly slower time of 25.09. He would have needed a 24.81. That would have been a big, or not big, but a personal best time for him to get back. So he boys out of this individual World Championships. We'll see him tomorrow in the men's medley. They'll be gunning for a top 16 spot to try and secure their place at the Olympic Games next year. And that'll be all of our Irish contingent for tonight. And we'll see Daniel Whiffen go in the 1,500 meters freestyle final tomorrow night. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's going in second for that. So around this time tomorrow, maybe an hour earlier, Whiffen will be going for, well, if anybody here knows Daniel Whiffen, he'll be going for gold in the 1,500 meter freestyle. Can't wait for that one. So heat number 6 through the field. Lane 0 from Hamilton. We have Aras Kutlu. Lane number 1, Tom Keys of Lisburn. No swimmer in lane number 2. By lane number 3, we have Marcus Bowen of Kilkenny. 4, Dylan Lunny. The Kilkenny swimmer, Sean Morrow, is in 5. Ben Glover is next to him in 6 of Leander. Owen Lynham is in 7. Sean Green in 8. And the Sunday's Well swimmer in lane number 9, Michael Campbell. So quite split out. Kutlu in 0. Hamilton having a great mate here. Really young squad they've got over here. Hamilton always represent well these Irish competitions. They always make the trip over. Maybe they get out of the Dubai heat. Can't imagine what the heat's like over there in the summer in the Middle East. So probably a welcome a bit of rain for those guys. But I think it is going to be Kutlu, is it still? Yep, 2:15.51. Kutlu is a 4:48 on an entry, so, I mean, out of the 2:15, if he comes back in at 2:20, you know, he's going to go 2:35, which is a big meet, a big drop, sorry. So, very, very, you got to break it down sometimes, this race. You got to kind of look at how you can pace it and how you can work, you know, the race to your advantage. Do you need to go out a little bit slower, or are you somebody who gets too excited on the first 50? Because if on a 400 meter freestyle, if you just bomb the first 50, get excited because you feel good and you're at the Irish Summer Nationals and dive in and just smash the first 50, the race is done because you're going to die a horrible death. And, you know, the race is going to be over. So some swimmers need to dial it back. Some swimmers, on the other hand, will go out too slow and leave too much in the pool. They'll not take it out hard enough. So every single coach will be telling their swimmers what they do. They coach them. They spend a lot of time with their athletes. So they know exactly what, you know, their strengths and weaknesses are, how to pace races, what to do, what not to do. And sometimes you just got to let the swimmer race. So a lot to swimming than just what we see here on the media side, which is just the end product, really. But Kutlu extending his advantage comfortably with a nice long leg kick. Coming down this, for that into the last turn, maybe flipping exactly 4 minutes something. Yeah, 4 minutes 92. Kutlu from Morrow in a 4:04. Lunny in a 4:04, and Lynham as well. So a bit of a battle at the top, the middle of your screen there. And at the minute, I think it looks a bit like lane number 7 is Lynham, looks to be really laying down the hammer, but no questions about the winner of this heat. Aras Kutlu of Hamilton. 4:48 he was entered, not anymore. He's a 4:34.09. Good swim, PB. All the way out. Yeah, give it a wee fist bump. Good man. Good swim. Hamilton yet again. Owen Lynham as well. With a PB, yeah, all these boys getting down. Best times. And this heat number 6 of 12. So halfway through the 400 meter freestyles for men. Okay, looks like a full show here. No absentees. Good to see in heat number 7. Ethan Doherty goes in 0 of Castlebar. Daniel Rowan in 1. Fitzpatrick is in 2 of Lisburn. In number 3, Jake Sweeney. 4, Luke Horton. Cian Houlihan is in 5. Dominic French is 6. Jack Hutchinson 7. Tim Konstantinov is in 8. And Ben Coleman is in 9. So starting to get a little bit faster now. The entry times now are all down around the low 440s. So really beginning to push on here. In terms of time, I'd like to see a wee bit of a race. Every single heat, there's been somebody who's just taken off and not looked back. We haven't really had a race to the wall yet. So it'd be nice to get one. For the neutral viewer, of course, if you were a Hamilton fan in the last one, you'd be not complaining the fact there was no race because Kutlu led by a significant margin on that one. But again, I think we do have a early enough leader-ish of Sweeney out in a 103.13. Looks to be quite comfortable now. And extending his lead from French. He got a second advantage or so. So the 400-meter freestyle, interesting event on the world stage, especially for men. Been dominated, of course, all recent times on the female side by Kayla Decky until recently. Ariana Titmus has arrived and broken world records, and Summer McIntosh as well. So the women's 400-meter freestyle is a very tight affair. The men's, half an hour, the Tunisian, the gold medalist from Tokyo, the shock gold medalist from lane 8 or lane 1. He won the gold. Go back and look at that race. One of the shock golds of the entire Olympics, not just in swimming. Came out of nowhere. He was, I think, 25th in the world or 20th in the world leading into that Olympics and just had a stormer. Happened on the day. But at the minute, Sam Short is the one to watch in that event. He was the world champion, the young Australian. And he went a 3:40, which is fantastic. The world record in that event is a off the top of my head, I think it's a 3:40.08 or 07 maybe. And that's held by Paul Biederman. He took down the legendary Ian Thorpe's somewhat unbreakable mark of 3:40.08 in Rome 2009 by 1/100th of a second, and nobody's managed to go sub 3:40 yet. You want to look back at a great race. The legendary Ian Thorpe, in my opinion, the greatest freestyler of all time. Look back at a race he did in 1998 in Perth, or 1999 maybe, and he's just wearing a pair of Speedos. He doesn't have any fancy suits. You know, he's got no fancy goggles, and he goes 3:41. So he went 3:41, which is just a second over what the world record is today, and he did it in just a pair of briefs in a competition. And by the way, he was 15 years old, or 16 years old, so we haven't had a freestyler like him. Yeah, we will one day, for sure, but not yet. But back to the pool, sorry. Jake Sweeney taking the lead. He led from the start again, an outlier leader, and Dominic French was second after the 100, and he's kept in that position. But Jake Sweeney not looking back at all. 4:42.2 is what he's entered on. Gonna crush that. Completely crush that. The Trojan swimmer, local lad from Dublin. And then, yes, sub 4:30, 4:29, 94, snug under there. Came back on a 34.04. That's what did it. Dominic French held on for 4:32. Luke Horton on a 4:35.5. Good work, swimmers. But yeah, of all these young swimmers now, like I said, you can go back and look back at old YouTube races of some of the great swimmers You know, Thorpe, you know, Biederman as well. You know, go look at that Rome 2009 race. Outdoor pool, all in full body suits. You know, just, you know, and you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from lots of those YouTube videos that, you know, certainly when I was younger growing up, didn't really have access to it. YouTube was just kind of coming around. And wow, that makes me feel old. Maybe not bring that up again. But here we go, heat number 8 now. Heat number 8 of 12. And I think we can't scan down. No, we don't have a full field. We have nobody in lane number 0. So skip that one out. So, lane number 1, Ross McHenry. 2, Finn Byrne. 3, Georgiev. 4, Tom O'Rourke. 5 is Jimmy Murphy of Dolphin. Lane number 6 is Kaliaskas of Aer Lingus, I think that is. 7 is Cian McGrath. 8 is Donica Lian. And 9 is Tanvir of Hamilton. So, all these swimmers pretty much have been sub 440, so sub 430, I guess, is the goal here, has to be. Very early leader again. Always like to see somebody go for it. Another local man, the NAC boy, 60.3. It is Finn Byrne. He's taking that out very fast in a 60.3, so dropped it off after that first 50 to 32.5. So must have been out 27.5 then. 27.5 to a 32.5 for a 60 point. And that, he looks very nice, doesn't he? Just really, really smooth at the minute. Doesn't look like he's exerting any more effort than needed at this moment in time. So fantastic camera shots here from the production team at HBV, doing a fantastic job. You don't see them behind the scenes, but they're here to my right. The great Connor is switching between all the different camera angles, so he's all day. He's here working hard and all behind the scenes, setting up the cameras and being able to bring this to you so you can watch the streams. And it really almost, like, it's done no differently at the World Championships. It's literally the same level. And HBV have signed I think it's a three-year contract. Is it 3? Yeah, Connor's got a thumbs up. 3-year extension on their contract, I think, with Swim Ireland to bring you all the best streaming services for these competitions. So we've got more of that to look forward to in the coming years. But back to the pool. And yeah, again, not the most exciting race, but it's Byrne of the NAC, local man, knows his pool inside out. 2:43, so he's repping 34 mids. Solid effort from him at this moment in time. Just a nice, if you sort of compare his stroke rate to the swimmer, excuse me, my voice going again, 2 lanes up in lane number 4. That's Tom O'Rourke of Athlone. Much higher stroke rate, much more of a probably messy stroke. Sorry, Tom, but he's getting the job done. Turning it too far away from the wall as well there, Tom. Sorry, I'm picking on you, but a bit more of a over the top. If Tom O'Rourke is just quieting down, just relax a bit more, not swing and fling as much, you save a lot of energy, go a lot faster. But at this moment in time, still, Finn Byrne of the NAC. He is entered in a 4:39. Be well into that, won't he? Should try and come back here, maybe a 33 point. And, you know, set his... A 33 point would give him a, yeah, he wants to look for 4:20 something. That'll be a great swim from him for sure to get down around that sub 4:30 mark and just keep pushing on. This meet, sometimes, not all about medals. Swimming's not all about medals. It's about getting better. It's one of the most pure sports in the world where swimmers just celebrate about getting a faster time. And yes, 4:27.73. And a good battle here for the finish. Yeah, Jimmy Murphy. 4:33.5 just from Tom O'Rourke. Good battle there. But in order to saw that one late. 4:33.72 from O'Rourke. That's heat 8 in the books. Moving on to heat 9. Just the 4 more heats to bring you, and then just one of the men's 200-meter butterfly. And that will do us for the session at number 11 before we're back tonight for some fast finals. Full field here. Good to see. Okay, heat number 9. Matthias Pickett in 0 of Ards. Kieran Watterson 1 of Galway. Ian Middleton 2. Ashley Weaver is 3 of Longford. Banbridge swimmer Matthew Rice is in 4. Zach Holmes is in lane number 5 and lane number 6. It's the Bluefin swimmer, the 18-year-old Ethan Learns. Christopher Mason, the Lisburn swimmer, is in 7. 15-year-old Liam O'Connor is in 8. And beside him, the NAC swimmer Dara O'Neill. So, big rate, big energy. Early doors, Ian Middleton. He's going for it again. Another early leader. It's crazy. We're seeing these real early people going for it. You know, it always seems to be from around this lane too. The other day, I don't know if any of you had the stream on. I can't remember what day it was, maybe day 2 on the Thursday. We had about 7 heats in a row on the men's 50 free. We're lane 7-1. It was unbelievable. It was like there was a Jets in lane number 7. So you do get that sometimes. A little bit of momentum in the lane. Some fast swimming energy over the lane if you believe in that kind of thing. I certainly do. Middleton in 2. Only 15 years of age, so real gutsy effort to be attacking this early doors. Very, very good. He's entered in on a 4:36, so folks, you'll know what the goal is here. It's going to be a sub 4:30 for him. He could be well under it. He's coming up here on a really nice first 200 split. Interesting to see if he can hang on. Wee bit of a battle developing at the top of your screen. 260 spot check Middleton. Top of your screen, wee bit of a battle going on there between Mason and O'Connor. So they'll be eyeballing each other down this last 200. And then in the middle of your pool, in lane number 5, Zach Holmes as well, kind of trying to swim his own race. So very high head position, but it's working. You can see Coach Coulter down there at the bottom on pool deck trying to push on his swimmer, Matthias Pickett. So extending his lead even further now. So the type of training these guys would do for this event would be extremely tough. A lot of pace, 100 meters at 400 pace. So an example of a set could be something like 15 100 meters. So 15 reps of 100 meters. And they might do that off a time of something like 140, 145. So that means after every 1 minute 45, you're going for your next rep. So if you're coming in on a 1 minute 15, well then you have 30 seconds to wait until you have to go again. If you come in on a 1 minute 40, you only got 5 seconds. So an example could be 15 100s on 140, trying to hold your 400 pace, trying to ingrain that feeling of what does this pace feel like? What does this pace feel like? And because you're getting a break after every 100, you know, whether it's 20, 30 seconds, you can hold the pace. All right, so you ingrain that pace, so by the time you come to race, you know what that pace feels like. You know, it's not alien to you. Okay, so all these swimmers will do very similar kind of sets for this. and you can do it with 50s as well. But Middleton stonking clear of the field here. Flying down the back end. I hope he gets sub 420. I think he will. Head down, 16. Yeah, 4:18:39 for Ian Middleton. Happy there, look at that. Yeah, give the fist bump. Get the biceps out. Good work. Liam O'Connor, 4:26. Christopher Mason is a 4:26 also. And good swim, boys. Yeah. Heat number 10 now. Only the 8 swimmers in this one. And just 3 more heats of this to bring you. And so just 4 more races in total. So a wee bit of a maybe twitch in there from Sean O'Connor. And then we'll have to see. You have to stay dead still on the block when they say take your marks. You cannot move. If you twitch in any way early, the starting block will pick it up and you will get disqualified. But maybe that's just me being picky. We'll see what happened there. So Thomas Price goes in 0. Gannon Robertson is in 2. Tony Cascante 3. Noah Switzer is in 4. In number 5 is Azan Ehler. Cody Lau, the ballerina swimmer, is in 6. Sean O'Connor 8. And Andrew Toomey is in 9. So, bit of a change now. Top of your picture seems to be the faster swimmers in the pool, and that is Andrew Toomey. Andrew Toomey of, I'm not sure what that club is, sorry. S&C, hold on. No, I don't have my sheet to tell me the clubs. Excuse me, I'll find out for next time. But a good battle, nevertheless, developing now. In the middle of the pool, getting involved in the action. It is Noah Switzer, the Cork Dolphin, coached by Mick McCormack, down there. I've been down there to give a freestyle clinic with Andrew Bree. What a fantastic group of swimmers there and coaching staff. They were Club of the Year last year for Swim Ireland. And when you go down and see how they operate down there in Cork, it's not hard to understand why. Great group of individuals and getting results everywhere you look. But here we go, field really separated now from a few quick leaders. Now I like this. This is what I like, folks. A bit of a battle going on. Switzer, 2:08.2. Cascante, 2:08.8. O'Connor, 2:09.6. So finally we're getting a race. It only took 10 heats. It only took 10 heats to get a bit of a race. So, but I tell you, he doesn't want to make it a race. Cascante wants to try and bridge the gap a little bit earlier, I think. He's up that rate. Has he gone too early? It's hard to know. We shall see. Switzer maybe decelerating a bit into that turn. Needs to not decelerate into the turn. That's a real common thing with swimmers. When they come into the wall, they're anticipating the turn. They're thinking about the turn. Coming into the last 5 minutes before the wall, they're thinking, oh, well, I need to do my tumble turn, or I need to do my touch turn, I need to do my underwater kicks. And what they do is they forget to swim. They slow down. They forget to keep the hammer down. Oh dear, no, you're not finished, boys. Keep going. Oh, nightmare. They thought he was done. He counted wrong. That's a tough one, but hey, that's a turnout for the books. You don't see that too often, let me tell you. It happened to me once. It happens to the best of us. Don't get me wrong. I said Cascante was going for it. I thought he was really up in the pace. I thought that's early to be going for it. But he went for it and touched. And then in number 4 also thought Oh, it must be over. Switzer thought it must be done. But then Switzer realised quickly it wasn't done and got the jump. But very, very hard on Cascante that. Just counted wrong. And although, excuse me, us watching, we know how many laps are on judging by the time, but sometimes when you're swimming, you forget about all that. You forget, you get enthralled in what you're doing, in your stroke rate, in your turns, and you think, oh, wait, have I done 6 lengths or 4 lengths? And sometimes hard, but Noah Switzer, 4:23. Oh, he's raging. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, boys, it happens to the best of us. Don't worry. You'll learn. No problem at all. Still great guts to come back and sprint. If it had been me, I probably would have just stopped. But fantastic. Switzer from Dolphin gets the win at 4:23. Take off about another 2 seconds off that, Noah. Same as you, Tony. Take off by 2 or 3, and that's what you would have went. But Switzer had great back end, didn't he? Regardless of touching earlier or not, he was flying. Coming home there, 4:23, great swim, regardless. That's fantastic. A little bit akin to, remember, we have DQ, yeah, I was right at the start of the race, if you remember. I thought O'Connor twitched on the block, and then number 8, and he did, he was disqualified. So be careful, and that's a lot of learning curves in that race. You know, for O'Connor, twitching on the block, you got to stay still, dead still. And then also for the 2 middle boys there. You need to get their calculator out. And count up 8 lengths. So here we go. Men's 400 meter freestyle. We actually have Charlie Eatwell in this one, the National Centre Ulster swimmer, having a go at 400 meter freestyle. For some unbeknownst reason to me, he usually does butterfly. I would coach him a little bit. Let's run through the field quickly. We have nobody in lane 9. We have Eamon Smith in 0, Marek Skalanek in 1, Charlie Eatwell 2, Loudon is 3, Patrick Ferry is 4, Luca Parr is 5, Krushka is 6, Cal Kelly is in 7, and Streslov is in lane number 8. So Eatwell having a go here at the 400 freestyle. Expect him to take it out. He's came on a lot recently in recent times since moving to initially moving up from the north coast where he's from, up sort of Coleraine direction. He moved down to North Down to swim with Ards and Coach Coulter. Originally Bangor, actually. Swam with Andrew Bree, our on pool commentator, then moved over to Ards to swim with Curtis Coulter. Now he's coaching under Kevin Anderson at the National Centre Ulster. So coming on leaps and bounds. And a great kid to coach as well. I know he was excited about the new Travis Scott album that came out yesterday, Utopia. He was talking to me about it. Myself and him, both massive Travis Scott fans. So he was all buzzed about that. It's a great album. If you haven't given that a listen, go and give it a listen. But here we go. That's completely irrelevant to the pool. It is Charlie Eatwell of Ards. And his best time is a 4:17.9. So they got him in here. I actually think, I think Jordan Sloan, who's coaching here, the ex-freestyle, multiple Irish record holder, one of the greatest freestylers this country's ever seen, now coaching a wee bit of Bangor, and the centre said I think Charlie might have missed his race this morning. So they've obviously slotted him in here where there was a gap, so that's nice. He's able to do it and post the time. That's why he's so far ahead. So, Eatwell, but lane number 7 as well. Kyle Kelly of Sligo having not a bad one at all. Kelly looking good. And here we go. It is Eatwell. That's a lovely, nice low stroke. See how the elbow's nice and high. The slight lift with each breath. A small lift is okay. You don't want too much up and down movement, but a small lift gives you a better rhythm. Sometimes a bit easier to get through the stroke. You need to pick it up a wee bit. if he wants to get below his entry time of 4:17.9, so he needs to really pick it up. He's going to be over that, I think, unless he gets the legs going. But look in the middle, lane number 5, New Ross, Luca Parr, powering down, pardon the pun. This 7th 50, looking really, really strong. And here he comes, all the way down. And it's going to be Ewell to the turn, 3:48.6. Ewell from Parr, from Cal Kelly. Ewell now, a little bit more endurance probably than these boys, a little bit older. So he's pulling away. Look at the legs now. He's probably left too much in the tank. He could have gone a lot earlier, I think. As Charlie, Coach Anderson will be watching on the stream. But here comes Ewell. He's going to finish maybe just over 4:20. And Luca Parr flying home. 4:21.01 for Ewell. Luca Parr in lane number 5 got the second. And Cal Kelly in on a 4:25.4. Charlie Ewell. He was certainly kicking well down that back 50. Charlie actually had a shoulder injury there for a long time. And because he had a shoulder injury, he was just kicking, so everyone was calling him Charlie Kickwell instead of Charlie Eatwell. Hopefully you get a few laughs out of that one. Okay, final heat. Final heat here, heat number 12 of 12 for this morning's session. And then we've only got the one heat of the men's to fly after, and that'll do us for this afternoon's session. So full race here in the final heat. Running down the list of names: Alexander Newman in lane number 0, David Coyle 1, Dara Rusk 2, Sergei Rizinchenko is in 3, Ben Wilson 4, watch out for him. Lane number 5, Killian Bramham is in 5, Alexander Peschk is in 6, Robert Mullen 7, Dominic Hilton 8, and Cian Foley, the 24-year-old from New Ross, is in 9. So, expected to be some faster swims here, maybe a sub 4:20 would be lovely for these swimmers to finish off ultimately the penultimate day of heats here at the Irish Youth and Senior Summer Nationals 2023. It's been a great competition so far, with lots of swimmers achieving personal best times. Great to see some swimmers that haven't swam well in a wee while get personal best times. Most notably, for me anyway, Molly McIlorm winning that women's 200-meter freestyle and finally going to PB after a number of years, struggling to get a personal best time. Just shows you sticking at things, sticking at it. Even when you don't get a best time, if you keep turning up, keep training, keep putting the work in, if there's one thing starting in the sport of swimming, you'll get there eventually. You will. Might be in a roundabout way, not the way you want it, but eventually you will get there. So great swim from her for that. So bottom of your pool at the minute, it is the Aer Lingus swimmer, always known for their distance freestylers, coached by Alan Turner, and that is David Coyle is leading that one. And then at the top of your screen, battle between lanes 8 and 7 is Dominic Hilton of Trojan and Robert Mullen of Temple Ogue. I think that is. It is going to be Hilton, I think. No, sorry, Mullen, sorry. In 2:07.85, so that's a good, solid first 200 to set yourself up, definitely, to go a sub 4:20. So you need to really begin now to put the hammer down. This third 100, you cannot slow up. And right in the middle, Ben Wilson, I said watch out for him before the start. He just has this weird knack of he doesn't get tired. He just goes and goes and goes. Not the tallest of swimmers, but what he makes up for and what he loses in height, he makes up for in a really nice stroke and a really lovely leg kick behind him. Look at his legs. That is extremely hard to do. You look at it, all right, and look at the legs. He's 15 years of age. He works extremely hard in training. Coach Calder tells me all about him. He looks really nice. Ben Wilson with the legs. This is going to be a bit of a race here. Fantastic stuff for our last race. Wilson's going to be looking all the way back at the Temple Oak swimmer Robert Mullen for this last one. And he's taking the lead too, Ben Wilson. 3:14.69. Coach Coulter on deck in the green there. You see him top of your picture. Not looking too enthusiastic, but that's Curtis. And here we go. Ben Wilson looking super strong. I don't think Mullen can handle the pace. To be honest, Wilson has got great determination here to get a best time. He's in on a 4:25.24. He's going to want to be under that 4:20. That's got to be the goal here. So at the minute, Wilson in a 4:37. He's going to have a storming back 50 to get under that 4:20. He might do it. Excuse me, he might do it. Voice going again. Here he goes, Ben Wilson. The leg kick's driving. All right, this is his final. He's absolutely going for it. Mullen has that slightly lower stroke rate, slightly different kind of swimmer. But Wilson's flying. He's leaving nothing in the pool. Mullen giving it a great go as well. But Wilson, he's just going to miss. Get in. Oh, he just misses. That sub 4:20. But a great swim. 4:20.65 from Robert Mullen in a 4:21. And Dominic Hilton out beside Mullen in 8 was a 4:23.4. So that's the 400 there. Confirmation of results. That concludes all of our 400 heats. We've had a total of 15 heats today. We had 3 earlier in the morning session. And we have Nathan Whiffen going first in that one tonight. That'll be great to watch. Tune in for that one. See how close he can get to that 350 mark. So just the one heat to bring you in the men's butterfly. We had 5 heats this morning. Yeah, we had 5 this morning. And just one. Just the one this morning. Or this afternoon, sorry. Excuse me. Just approaching 2:05. We'll be back tonight from 5:30 for the finals sessions of today. All the events from this morning. The finals will be swum tonight. Looking forward to seeing Barry Murphy rolling back the years in that 50-meter breaststroke. He's fastest in, 38 years of age. Took 9 years out of the water. 9 years out of the water. That's some of these swimmers aren't much older than 9. So it's a long time, but it never leaves you. It was great to see him back in the pool. He's a swimmer I looked up to so much when I was a kid. And here we go, men's 2 fly. Lane number 2, Seanan McWeeny. Lane number 3, Dylan Gunn. Lane number 4, Richie Gavican. Lane number 5, Evan Buckley. Lane number 6, Ruben Abaji. And lane number 7, Kevin McNally. So 2 to fly. Bit of a different event. So Abaji going for it from Bangor. I remember him yesterday absolutely going for it in the 100-meter freestyle. He was so fast at the 50, and he was really hurting down that back 10 meters in the 100 free, but he hung on and won his heat. So it just shows you fortune favors the brave sometimes when you go for it, and he's absolutely going for it here. Look at this. Abaji, no fear. Absolutely no fear from the young Bangor man. Coach James Hand recently, new head coach James Hand there of Bangor, so he's watching along. But if Abaji can keep this up, that'll be some going. He looks he's got a very nice butterfly. I like his butterfly a lot. Actually, I think you probably should focus on that fly. He's out in a 1:09.47. That's very quick when we consider he's entered on a 2:50. So he's well under his PB time, but I'm telling you, this will hurt. He is going to experience pain that a lot of people will never experience in the pool. He's built up such a lead, he should hang on, but when it's in a tuna fly, when you begin to hurt, it feels like there's a piano on your back and you're trying to lift yourself out of the water and there's just no doing. But Abaji looks good. He looks really nice. Ruben Abaji of Bangor 150.2. He was at 40.7 on that split. The rest of the field are hard to split. In second position, he's got some guts. If he ever makes something in swimming, I tell you, he definitely can, because he's got great perseverance to attack this tuna fly like that. And he's gritting his teeth. He's hanging on. He's not going to die, folks. Even if he does, he's built up such a lead. It will not matter. Abaji, fantastic. What a swim that is. Did not expect it at all. All the way in. Is he going to just be over 230? I tell you what, folks, he didn't die at all. He hung on brilliantly. 231.02. What a swim from Ruben Abaji of Bangor. 40 point were our last two splits. So he didn't die at all. Came back into 120. That's absolutely fantastic. Gavican was second in a 237 and Buckley in a 239. Wow. He'll love to watch that one back. He really, really will. And there's confirmation of results in the men's 200 meter butterfly, the only heat of that. So that concludes session number 11 for here at the Irish Youth and Senior Summer Nationals 2023. We will be back at 5:30 sharp for the final session and session 12. My name is David Thompson. This has been an HBV production for Swim Ireland. See you later.